Welcome to True Creativity Within. I'm Lisa Agaron, your host, mentor, and guide when it comes to your creativity and growth as an artist. Whether you're a beginner or professional artist, here you will learn how to deepen your relationship with the creative process, trust in the guidance of your creative spirit, and stay true to becoming the artist you are meant to be. Thank you for listening, and let's start today's episode. Hello, creative souls. Welcome back to True Creativity Within the podcast. Before I dive in, I want to take a moment to invite you to just breathe with me. Take a deep breath in, inhale, and exhale out slowly. One more time, inhale and exhale out. Just let yourself land right where you are in this present moment. And allow yourself to just be fully present. Good. So today I want to explore something that I truly believe in and have experienced for myself. And that is the idea that creativity is the soul remembering itself. So when I talk about creativity, I'm not necessarily referring to the act of making art. I'm also talking about the stirring that happens within you. You know, the impulse to bring something into being that didn't exist before. Yes, creativity could be painting, writing a poem, doodling, or collaging. But it could also be the clothing you select to wear that feels like it represents your style. It could be the way you tend to your garden, the selection of flowers, succulents, and colors. Creativity could be a new recipe you try, or even envisioning a new possibility or dream into your life. But it could also be when you witness the sky changing colors during a sunset. Creativity is the language of the soul. And for many of us, perhaps it's a language we have forgotten. Maybe career paths and expectations of the world have distracted us from this connection between our creativity and our soul. After all, we've been trained and even convinced of an untruth that creativity is about talent, and it belongs only to the so-called real artists, as if there was a stamp of approval that said, you are worthy of being creative. Then we've also been taught our creativity is an optional thing, a luxury, something we do to pass the time as a hobby or when we retire. Not necessarily something we do as a form of self-care or a spiritual practice. But when we create, something inside us at the soul level gets reawakened and reconnects us to our true self, our true creative essence. We begin to remember who we really are. So before I dive into what it feels like when the soul remembers itself, let's take a look into why we first become distracted and why we always need to remember, awaken, or reconnect to this part of us. First off, the most obvious, we live in a time where there is so much pulling at our attention and energy. And I'm not talking about real life responsibilities that we have to our families or to our jobs. I'm referring to what we do when deep down inside of us feels empty with this yearning to replenish or nourish our soul. So it's pretty common that our immediate default is to scroll on social media, scroll on Netflix for the next thing to watch, the next true crime documentary. Or we go onto the internet and we get lost in this maze for hours at a time. And you could probably relate to this because I'm guilty of it also. I have experienced this over and over again, that when I get off of those devices or those default ways of nourishing my soul, I feel empty with a sense of dissatisfaction and sometimes even left with that sort of yucky feeling inside. I'm pretty sure you too are familiar with that feeling. Because that feeling is an indication that your soul was not fed. It wasn't fed the thing that it was craving for or calling you towards. And I believe that it's what creativity provides us. It's that very thing that our soul was craving. It not only nourishes and satisfies something deep within us, it fulfills that desire to be creative. Because remember, creativity is an inherent human need that existed throughout the human history. Creativity helps our soul remember itself. So what does that remembering look like and feel like when we're lost in that creative process? Well, there's this sense that time disappears and you're fully in the present moment. Your breathing slows, your mind quiets, you feel more relaxed. You may even feel a sense of well-being, that feeling that everything is okay. That's not an accident. In those moments, you're aligned with something deeper, attuned to your natural rhythm, the essence of your soul. The doing falls away and the creating feels effortless as you seem to ride in the flow of this creative energy. It's like your soul saying, yes, this is where I belong and what I should be doing. Welcome home. So when I'm creating, it often feels like I'm not necessarily making something, I'm remembering something. I believe our souls carry memory, not of events, but of essence. What our soul is craving to return to, a memory of feeling grounded and steady, that feeling of calm and presence, connected to that sense of wholeness, a memory of feeling connected to our true self. Creativity opens the channel to that memory. This is why creative moments feel both mysterious and yet familiar. Art awakens that creative spirit in us that never forgot who we are. It simply needed our attention, a safe space to express itself through us, and most importantly, for us to truly acknowledge the value it has in our life. So this remembering happens through the body. Think of your body as the vessel in which creative spirit can express itself. But it is also a bridge between creativity and your soul. So the motion of your hand moving across the paper when you're painting or drawing, or the rhythm of your breath while you're writing, the sway of your body when you're dancing or creating music, all of it becomes part of the remembering. This is why creativity has an effect on us physiologically. It calms the nervous system, it heals, it restores. Because when the soul remembers itself, the mind and body finally gets to rest. I wanted to take a quick break. You know, if this way of remembering yourself through creativity is calling to you, if you're craving more peace, grounding, and connection, I'd love to invite you to my newest creation, the Creative Calm Within online course. It's a gentle 4-part journey you can move through at your own rhythm. Each lesson includes self-reflective exercises, guided meditations narrated by me, and simple, easy-to-follow art practices, all designed to help you de-stress, regulate your nervous system, and experience some calm in your life. And most importantly, your soul will feel heard again. You can enroll today and get instant access. Just bring your art journal, supplies, find a quiet space, and I'll meet you right there. You can learn more through my website. I'll leave a link for you in the show notes. So maybe creativity isn't something we force. Maybe it's something we listen for. When you create with intention, you're opening a dialogue with the unseen, what I call the invisible power of creativity. And that is your intuition, creative spirit, the ability to enter a place of stillness and presence. Creativity becomes a prayer, a form of meditation, a conversation with our inner guidance, higher self, and even a higher power. This is why I believe creativity can be a spiritual practice. There's something about the creative process where we can feel like we're connecting to something spiritual. And this in and itself makes those moments when you're creating feel sacred. So here's my invitation to you. Intentionally set some time aside to create something, anything, and resist the temptation to have to do it perfectly or artistically. Simply do it to remember. Let your hands lead and your mind follow. Notice how your energy shifts, your breathing softens, how your body relaxes. Notice if you feel more grounded and hopeful, even more fulfilled and less empty. That's your soul speaking. That's your soul remembering itself. So I'm going to end with this. Creativity isn't about becoming something more. It's about returning to what's already whole inside you. When you create freely and imperfectly, you open the door for your soul's light to rise again. So today, light a candle, put on some music, open up your art journal, pick up a brush, and deeply listen. You might hear your soul whisper, "Ah, yes, this is me. I remember who I am." Thank you for being here with me today. May your creative soul be filled with moments of remembering, and may your creativity guide you gently home. Until next time, stay creative. Bye. If you're interested in learning more about my workshops, online courses, and my Creative Spirit Connection group, visit truecreativitywithin.com. You can also follow me on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Pinterest.